They laughed at me. They rolled their eyes. They whispered behind my back. They said I would never make it. I remember the smirks, the sarcastic comments, the so-called advice disguised as pity. You should be more realistic. That's not how life works. Why would you even try something like that? But what they didn't realize was this. I was already becoming. Every laugh they threw at me, every doubt they planted, every time they tried to define my limits. They were fueling something far greater inside me. They were giving me power. This is not just my story. This is the story of anyone who's ever been doubted. It's dismissed, underestimated, or ridiculed simply because they dared to dream. So if you've ever been in that place, surrounded by doubt, standing alone in the silence after the laughter fades, this is for you. Because what they don't understand is that the seed of greatness doesn't grow in approval. It grows in isolation, in rejection, in moments when nobody believes except you. I wasn't born with special advantages. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't have powerful connections. I wasn't the fastest, smartest, or most talented. But I had one thing. I had the willingness to endure. You see, people often admire success, but they rarely understand the process. They see the outcome, but ignore the journey. They see the stage, not the rehearsal. They see the result, not the resilience. They see the shine, but not the shadow I had to walk through to get there. I'd work on dreams that seemed ridiculous to everyone around me. While they were out celebrating, I was grinding in silence. While they mocked, I studied. While they relaxed, I got better. In the beginning, it was lonely. I'd sit with ideas I couldn't explain to anyone. Not because I had guarantees, but because I had belief. The journey was not glamorous. It was filled with late nights, early mornings, and long stretches of time where nothing seemed to be working. But I stayed consistent. It's not belief that I would be the best immediately, not belief that success would come fast, but belief that I could improve. Belief that effort compounds. Belief that even failure, when used wisely, can become a ladder upward. The turning point didn't come with applause. It came quietly. The first sign that I was breaking through wasn't praise. It was resistance. The same people who laughed now started asking questions. The tone changed from mocking to curious. It was the refusal to give up when it made more sense to quit. I saw the confusion in their eyes. How did I get here? How was this possible? How did someone like me, the one they doubted, create something worth noticing? But they missed the point again. It wasn't one big moment. It was thousands of small decisions. It was discipline when motivation disappeared. It was courage when fear screamed the loudest. They laughed at me because they only saw where I was, not where I was going. They judged me based on what was visible, not realizing the invisible fire I was building inside. You see, the world loves to label you. It puts you in a box based on where you came from, what you look like, what you've done so far. But those labels only matter if you accept them. I refused. I refused to be small to make others comfortable. I refused to lower my standards just to fit in. I refused to apologize for wanting more out of life. Somewhere along the way, something shifted. I didn't need their validation anymore. Their opinions became background noise. Their laughter no longer stung. Why? Because I realized something powerful. The moment you stop living for their approval is the moment you start stepping into your true potential. I kept building. I kept showing up, even when it didn't make sense, even when nobody clapped, even when the voice of doubt echoed louder than my own belief. I stayed the course. And then slowly but surely, results began to speak. And results, unlike words, don't lie. The very people who said I wouldn't amount to anything started watching quietly. They didn't have anything to say now, because the transformation was undeniable. I had become someone they didn't recognize. Someone they never imagined I could be. But I always saw it, not clearly, not perfectly, but enough to move forward one step at a time. That's how greatness happens. It's not born in comfort, it's built in adversity. When they laugh at you, they reveal their own limits, not yours. When they mock your ambition, they expose their own fears. When they try to discourage you, they're really saying, I don't believe it's possible for me, so it must not be possible for you. But the truth is, their disbelief has nothing to do with your destiny. If you're in the early stages of your journey right now, I want you to remember this. You don't need everyone to understand. You don't need permission to start. You don't need applause to keep going. You just need the fire, the vision, the grit, and the quiet confidence to say, maybe not today, but someday you'll see. Because one day they will. They'll see what you've built. They'll see what you've become, and the laughter will be replaced with silence. Not because they no longer have opinions, but because they realize their opinions were wrong. But by then it won't matter to you. You won't be chasing validation. You'll be living your truth, creating, serving, growing, becoming. You'll be too focused on your mission to worry about those who once doubted. You'll be too busy building the future to explain the past. Because when you become what you were meant to be, explanations become unnecessary. They laughed at me till they saw what I became. Not just successful, but disciplined, focused, free, unshakable, transformed. So let them laugh, let them whisper, let them doubt, and you just keep becoming.